Hey guys, our lesson today is 123. Go ahead and pull that one out. First direction says draw a 9 centimeter line segment. So we're going to go to the centimeter side of our ruler. We're going for 9 centimeters. Right there. I draw a dot where I want to stop. Hold it down with all my fingers and then connect them. Measure the line segment using centimeters. So put the dot on the first measuring mark and it looks like it's exactly 11 centimeters. Number 1 says, there were 6 children at the party. Aunt Angie put 5 strawberries on each child's dish of ice cream. What type of story is this? I'm going to have you skip that if you get that question on the other side. Draw a picture to show the strawberries on the dishes of ice cream. So there were 6 children who had ice cream. So they each had an ice cream. 4, 5, 6. There's 6 children's ice cream. Aunt Angie put 5 strawberries on each. So there are 5 here, 5 here, 5 here, 5 here, 5 here, and 5 here. If you prefer to do counters or tallies or a picture like that, go ahead. I prefer to do numbers. It's up to you. It's right either way. How many strawberries did Aunt Angie use all together? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can do it 2 different ways. You can do 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Or, since we're getting into multiplication, you can do 6 groups of 5. It'll get you the same answer either way. 6 times 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30, and what were we counting? How many strawberries? 30 strawberries. How much money is this? Write the amount 2 different ways. So let's figure out what these coins are, because they kind of mixed them up a little bit and put a bunch of different ones on there. So on page 5 in your math journal, you have the pictures of the coins. We're going to not consider the $50 for now. That is in existence. They do make it. We just don't use it very often when we're spending. So we're not going to talk about that one for today. So the biggest one besides that is the quarter. It's worth the most and it's the biggest. It's about 1 inch across. It's got ridges around the edges. It still has somebody's head on the front, but now it has states on the back sometimes. Penny looks pretty similar still. It's still the only brown one. That's the smallest, worth the smallest. But the smallest to look at is the dime. That's worth 10. That's the thinnest, and it's the littlest around. And nickel is the thicker one with smooth edges all the way around. And that's worth 5. Okay, so let's take a look. This one is a quarter, and that's worth 25. This one says 1 dime. They gave us a hint there. That's the smallest one. It's worth 10. These are the nickels. See, they match. They're worth 5. And this one, even though it's not brown, the guy faces this way on it. And that's how I can tell it's a penny. That one's a penny. So let's add them up. Let's see if I have some scratch paper here. Let's see if I have some scratch paper I haven't written all over yet. Here we go. So we have 25, a 10, 2 5s, and a 1. Those are the coins we have. Let's add them up. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16. 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. So we have 46 cents. Two different ways we can write that. We can do it like I just did, the way we learned to do it when we were younger, with a cent sign like that. The other way we can do money is with a dollar sign and a decimal point. Now, when we do that, we write how many whole dollars are over here, and there's 0. We don't have to put that 0 there if there's 0. Mrs. Musselman likes to do it. And then there's always 2 numbers after the decimal point. In this case, those 2 numbers are going to be 46, because after the decimal point, that means how many cents there are. Next one, measure the sides of the rectangle in problem 2, that means this one, using centimeters. And what is the perimeter? So let's talk about those 2 words. So we're going to use the centimeter side of our ruler. The long side is 10. Now that makes this long side 10 also. The short side is 3. And that makes this short side 3 also. Now when we do a perimeter, we add up the sides. The perimeter is the fence around the yard. So since my shape has 4 sides, I'm going to add up 4 numbers. 10 plus 3 plus 10 plus 3. Okay? And we're going to mark it centimeters when we're done. 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 3 is 23, plus 3 is 26. And we're going to mark it centimeters, or cm. Okay? Draw a triangle with a right angle. Assuming we're supposed to draw it in here. So you remember, a right angle is like the corner on a piece of paper. One side goes straight out, the other side goes straight up. And just like a corner on a piece of paper, we can turn it and it's still a right angle. But that's the angle that it has, like the corner on a square. Okay? And if I'm going to make a triangle on it, I just have to connect the 2 lines. And my triangle could have also been tall and very skinny, because that's still a right angle. It's still the corner of a square, right? Or my triangle could have been short and very long, like the corner of a square still, but then I'm connecting to make a long triangle. Either way, these are right angles. Label this array. Let's figure out how many up and down, how many across. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to count this one again when I go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is a 3 by 10 array. 3 by 10 array. Number of tiles used, I could count them, but remember, by means multiply. So what's 3 times 10? 10, 20, 30. Number of tiles used is 30. Now, I could have gone 10, 20, 30, like that too, and gotten the same number. Write 207 using digits. Well, when you're doing this one at home, you won't have me reading it. So what they want you to do is figure out how to read, 207. They want you to figure out how to read those numbers and interpret them into numbers, or those words. 207. Now don't forget, in a number that doesn't mention one of the places, like doesn't mention the tens group, we still have to have a 0 there. Because if I take that 0 out, just because it's a 0, I would have 27, and that is not the same thing, right? Write in expanded form, 207 in expanded form. So now what I do is I separate out all 3 of the place values. The 2 is actually 200, because it's in the hundreds place. There's 0 in the tens place. So I don't think I would have to write this, but I always tell you guys to add up as many numbers as there are digits in the number. And the 7 is in the ones place. 207. Find the answers. 7 times 2 is 7 plus 7, or you can count by 2s. 14. 8 times 5, you know how to count by 5s. 8 times 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And remember that when we multiply a number times 1 with zeros after it, we can take the zeros and put them behind the other number when we multiply. So we have 9 with 2 zeros. That only works if it's a 1 with zeros after it and if we're multiplying. There it is, guys. If there's anything you need to go over again, just play the video again. If there's anything that you need to look up, go ahead and look it up while you're working. Have a good afternoon.